Right. Okay. Call to order the Plympton-Wyoming Parks and Rec Committee meeting for Thursday, May 16th, 2024. Please note that these meetings are being broadcast and recorded. Recordings will be made available on the Wyoming YouTube channel. Ask anyone with a pecuniary interest to declare at the appropriate time, please. See, we have no delegations tonight. So we will move to the adoption of the minutes. 4.1. I have a motion by Dean Thomas, seconded by Alex Bojan, that the regular Parks and Rec Committee meeting minutes be adopted by the committee for April 18th, 2024. Any questions on those meetings, minutes? I didn't see anything outstanding. Seeing none, call for the vote. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Business arising from the minutes. We have anything outstanding? Moving on to 6.1 accounts. I have a motion by Alex Bojan, again seconded by Dean Thomas, that the accounts be listed be received by Parks and Rec Committee for April payables. Any questions on those payables? They had a question. Answer, but I'll bring it up just so everybody else has. Here's it. $3,200 for fence extension at Centennial Park. Was that capital? Was it?
It's a capital project.
It should be removed out of the. Okay. Anyone else see anything outstanding that they have questions on?
Okay. Just the Hydro one, it shows that the invoices were all in April. Looks like they're doubled up, but I think they might have been a different month. Look at the top, 8 or 9 that are all April invoices, and then down the bottom, there's 8 or 9 that are all April invoices for Hydro.
Okay. Yeah, through the chair. We had the that issue at our environmental services committee meeting as well. And I think it was a kind of like at the end of the month, and maybe it just got recorded as April, but it was actually for a different month. So we'll look into that to make sure that we're not getting double charged.
Perfect. Anyone else? Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor? Carried, thank you. $7.1 Spring Park Tour. We have a report by Jeff Wilson of our findings of our tour. I have a motion by Dean Thomas. Imagine that. Alex Bojan. Got the report prepared by Jessica Wilson, Executive Assistant, Public Works, dated May 7th, 2024, regarding Spring Parks Tour 2024 review be received and filed appropriately. Have any questions on that one? Yes, you have anything to add to it?
No.
There was a mistake with the Blue Point.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff there, it's under the Blue Point right away, so she'll move that up. It is on the next page. Teeter totter's being removed. The post is being removed tomorrow, I understand. And there was a question about the timer for the lights. There is none, only an eye, so they're looking into that. Anything else get missed or need addressed on this? See, most of it's already in the works of being done, so that's good. Nothing? We ask that that report be received. All in favor, please? Carried, thank you. Okay, 7.2. That the report by Paul De Silva, Director of Public Works, dated May 9th, 2024, regarding the Arrow Woods Playground equipment be received, and that the Parks and Rec Committee endorse a plan to receive the cash in lieu of for the playground equipment in the amount of $43,000. And he recommends that council add additional funding to be allocated to the 2025 capital budget to construct a new playground.
Mhm.
You're gonna have two?
I can explain after.
Okay, he's gonna explain it to us. Good. Within the Arrowwood subdivision to a higher level of service. Speak to that now.
I would please, yes. So I had to do a considerable amount of background research into this, but the developer through their consultant reached out to us about a month ago. Saying that they had closed an RFP to provide a playground equipment within the Arrowwoods subdivision, so phase 2 of Arrowwoods. And what the committee may or may not be aware of was when that development was originally going through, council had agreed to receive works instead of cash for that parkland. So there was a stormwater management facility that got built. And outside of the 100-year flood level, all of that parkland got dedicated, and then they were to construct some additional amenities. I detailed them in my report, but it was like trails, sitting areas, trees, and the major thing was playground equipment. So when they provided that, and I attached it at the bottom, you can see, I thought that maybe we would consider a playground equipment with a slightly higher level of service than what they were providing with their budget. So I am recommending that we receive the cash from the developer instead. And that we allocate some additional funding in the budget for next year, and we go with something that looks probably more like the one that we installed at O'Brien, but with a swing set. I think we can do that for like $65,000-$70,000. So I'm bringing it to committee just to get the endorsement. So we have two options essentially here, is basically accept what they're proposing or take the cash in lieu and do it ourselves.
Discussion? Go ahead, Alex.
Do you have any idea for how much their pricing increases every year? Like, for example, if this is what 36,000 whatever it is gets us this year, like historically, is that gonna jump up a lot because of inflation and all the other words? Like in terms of, are we better off just taking it and adding a swing set later or something like that, or just an idea of, if you have that, I'm sure you probably can't say for sure, but.
Yeah, through the chair. That's a great question. I think what this year's market has shown us is that things are leveling off a little bit. I don't have a ton of experience in the recreational equipment arena, but in terms of construction, we've seen actually prices decrease over last year. So I feel reasonably confident that even if you had your just standard 2 or 3% inflation, I don't think we're going to see things go up 10 or 15 or 20% next year. That's just my opinion, no crystal ball or anything. I do still think even increasing the budget will provide us with a bit of a better value as well.
And then one for follow-up with, what you see, is it just a bigger actual play, like slide type structure plus a swing set? Like, is that kind of what you're imagining as a higher level of service? Just a larger piece of equipment?
Yeah, larger with some additional amenities included. Like if you go down to O'Brien, there's a bit of a tunnel there. There's some sensory features that this one's not including. So we would do the same thing that we have done in the past, is issue a request for proposal and try to get as many back as we possibly can, and then go through the selection process of what we think would be appropriate for that area. The one that we did at that we just recently did at Plum Park was, I think our budget was the Plum Park one that we just did this year. I think it was like $35,000. So this is kind of similar. We're seeing two very, very similar products. So yeah, it would come down to selection, but I do think that this area, just with the growth of Arrowwoods, and it was identified in the development charges background study, that we would be investing more in parks and recreation in this area as a whole. So the funding is there to utilize. So yeah, just some additional features and amenities.
Go ahead, thank you.
Yeah, that was my question was. Can we use development fees to get the upgrade, which you just answered?
Mhm.
The other question I have is. Their breakdown of the costs for the trail and all that stuff, who reviews this?
That would have got reviewed during the subdivision agreement process and agreed to at that time.
It's an accurate number, is all I was going with.
At the time, 2 years ago, 105,000 was accurate. Yeah.
But yeah, we've been to that part, so that's the dry pond, which is now what we're going with. So that's tiled underneath and everything, so it'll hold water for like 3 days and then eventually it all goes away and becomes park. That was the idea when we looked at that. So what's your thoughts? I think it's probably better for us to control what we're putting in there than take the money and then we control it and we want instead of you guys. Right. He's just gonna put in what he wants and done.
I agree. My only question, because I've had a few people in that subdivision, just because I live in phase one.
Mhm.
So timeline, so if we do this, we'd be looking at probably next summer. So this one,
Exactly right. We're set to assume this subdivision, if he gets everything done, all the maintenance related issues sorted. Asphalt paving completed, we'll be assuming it in November of this year. So then budget January, and then as soon as budget's complete, we could go to an RFP right away.
Very good. So I have a motion by Mike Thompson, seconded by Dean Thomas. The report by Paul DeSilva, Parks Director of Parks Public Works, dated May 9th regarding the Arrowwoods playground equipment being received. Parks and Rec Committee endorsed the plan to receive the cash in lieu of, which is 43,000. And then we look at upgrading it. The 2025. All in favor? Very good, thank you. Eight point one. The breakdown of the parks. Anything at Blue Point outstanding, Teresa? Lucky Ball, Nettie?
She did have a comment, she emailed me about installing pickleball net at Mandamin and just thought it would maybe bring more attendance to the park.
I think we were asked, were we not? Remember something about pickleball at Mendon?
Yeah, the mayor had sent a note at one time, just mentioning it, and Jessica forwarded me the email from the deputy mayor regarding installing a pickleball net. So I did look quickly online just to see what that would cost. To do the outdoor posts to purchase is about $500 for the posts, and then you could get the net for about $200. And then I don't know, Al, maybe you can answer how much Hollingsworth charges to paint the lines.
I think that invoice I just paid was $700. When you do the lines over here at the second court over here.
For new lines?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, so that takes us $1,400-ish, I think, and then installation, so we're probably in the neighborhood of $2,000 to do this, so we would definitely need some direction on that.
Thoughts? I know it's a park that never gets used, so if somebody's using it.
My question is there been a request outside of Nettie? I think it's a great idea that she's come up with, but is there feedback from somebody to say, hey, it'd be really handy if there was a pickleball court at Mandamin?
Yeah, somebody called and actually asked.
$2,000 and not actually get used.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but I know someone did reach out to the mayor, and the mayor forwarded the request on. This was probably 2 months ago.
I know there's a bunch in town that play it. Older than me type people. But they're the ones who wanted it done here. And were willing to pay. I see it as it's not getting used for tennis at all. Never seen anybody in there, ever. In 20 years I've driven by.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, like, the way they do pickleball in the arena now, it's. Are excited about that, so for $2,000 to get people out to the park, and as you mentioned, quite often, Mike, there's not very many people out there, so maybe this is a way to get some traffic out there, so.
It is, but I think we're gonna have to advertise.
Yeah.
through
Oh, yeah.
The letters that go out with the tax bills or whatever to let everybody know that it's been done. Do it.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Right, do we wanna make,
You want to do like a bring this back type thing?
I mean, there's not a ton of operating budget here to work with. So we'd have to see if we can find the money. But we can at least start with some direction to look into it and then maybe bring something back.
okay, bring some hard numbers back and where the numbers are coming from.
Okay.
Where we can find, if we have any money to do it. Everybody good with that? So that was Nettie at Kamlaki, Highland Glen. Teresa, anything?
I just noticed there was some really bad ruts in the roadway going in, especially right at the entrance where the signs all are. There's one big, real deep one there. I don't know if we do any of the maintenance on the roads going in, but
We've been through that twice now with the grader this spring, so it's an ongoing thing that we'll just have to stay on top of. It may pack in a little bit better once we get our brine solution put on it and hold it together a little better, but right now everything's loose, and as the tires are going in and out of there, mainly the hills get really bad.
yeah.
The free launching, is that done?
It was completed, I think, the 12th.
So that will be, we're huge money maker for us now that people are gonna start paying to use the ramp. Lakeshore right of ways, Alex,
Nothing to report on.
Dean, Lakeshore and Lamberton Parks,
Nothing to report.
you and Park. Say that one already? No. Wyoming Ball, I've heard nothing from anybody. But I did notice the scoreboard out here, this field looks terrible. It's gone all yellow.
That's stated from.
So I don't know if it's us or them. Somebody sponsors that or.
I think Wyoming Minor Ball purchased it back in the day through fundraising for a grant through, wasn't it through Libro at the time. Yeah, it's stated.
Maybe send them a note that they're gonna do something with it, or they want us to do something with it, or. Say advertise. For them to make some money on it, I don't care, but it looks old and ratty out there right now. Wyoming Trail,
Looks good.
how about the top part, Sam's the one that's not here,
Looks good.
perfect. Nothing under bylaws, correspondent action required, anything there, Jess?
There's 3 items.
Come on in. Oh, Jesus. So 10.1, we have a request for a fill station at K Park.
We'd have to.
Definitely have water.
We have water. We were talking about it being added to the outside of the building, outside the pool. There's currently one inside the pool area, but when it's shut down or off hours, there's no access to fresh water there for them.
So can we look at it, get a cost back on that, please?
We did a really quick online research.
Can you put one out at the
24.
ballpark, didn't you? Pardon me? Can you put one at the ballpark in Kamlaki?
No, there's the ones that we've purchased were for the washrooms when we did those.
Oh, okay.
The newest washrooms. Online, the similar system that we have there was about $2,400 to purchase it.
They're
Then
not
we'd have to have
cheap.
the plumber tie it in.
Alright,
So just on direction for that, do you want us to bring back some harder numbers, or do we want to defer this to next year's budget? Like. There already is a water fill station at the pool, but it's within the fenced area. So only the people using the pool really can access it. So we would either A, add another one to the outside so anybody can access it, or B, locate some type of water fountain or something closer to the splash pad, because it is a bit of a walk. I think this person was advocating for something right at the splash pad. The easiest way would be to do it in the building though.
I think it should go to budget personally, but it's gonna be that much. I guess we just talked about pickleball and that's for 2,000, but where do you draw the line, right?
and it's not, I don't think it's a dire necessity. So we'll put that to
Defer it to budget.
please. 10.2, is
There are motions for these two.
there a motion for each one of them? But the correspondence regarding the water fill station for McKay Park be received by the Parks and Rec Committee and it be deferred. How did you know that? Be deferred to the 2025 budget considerations. It's moved by Teresa, seconded by Mike Thompson. All in favor? Gary, thank you. I thought this was covering all of them. So what are we agreeing to on this one? Let me see what Teresa says, or Jessica says. So. Got a motion by Teresa, seconded by Mike Thompson, that the Parks and Rec Committee approves the library box being installed by the grade 7 students at St. Mike's School, Brights Grove, at King Square Park in Kamlaki, near the intersection of Hyde Street, Victoria Street, and that staff work with the students to help execute the project and approve a permanent loan. Any questions on that? It's great. All in favor?
So just so you're clear, their correspondence, they want to do everything, but I figured we should have a staff, like, they didn't even want us digging the post, like, we want to do that ourselves, and I'm like, we should probably make sure it's done properly and.
I would think that it'd be best if we put the hole there, they could actually erect the box there at that point.
Let them dig the first 2 feet and then go on.
They said they're working with the high school carpentry students, but I feel like if you're at least there and you can tell them exactly where it needs to go. Better than just being like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Perfect. I got a motion from Alex, seconded by Teresa, that the Parks and Rec Committee direct staff based on the correspondence and information provided on how to proceed and respond to Mr. McKay at Lake Shore Community Church. They're wanting to put up some tents for their daytime activity.
Yeah, which just goes against our bylaw. In the correspondence, I quote to him saying that, like, we're not supposed to put up any sort of structures, permanent or temporary. So it's just kind of up to you guys.
No issues. Yeah.
No issues.
Yeah, because I know that's, I feel like the bylaw is trying to get at overnight camping and parks and stuff. So I know it's written vaguely enough that it seems like you can't put anything up, but I don't think there's an issue for a daytime summer camp.
Just they know they're responsible and. get to blow
Yeah, he
down.
said the smaller ones, like they can.
Yeah, just a 10 by 10.
He did mention that they planned on taking them down at noon hour anyway.
Yeah.
In his correspondence. It's not like they're gonna be left up overnight or.
No, initially, like, his request was a very large tent and they'd have to go get a permit through the county and all that, and so then he said he did have 3 smaller ones. The woman at the county got back to him saying, like, they just can't be like within, yeah, so.
Okay, all in favor? Carried, thank you. .1. I've got a motion by Dean, second by Alex. With the information regarding changes to the detailed minutes approved by council April 25th, 2024, be received by Parks and Rec Committee. So at the April 25th, 2024 council meeting, council approved the following with regards to detailed texts in the minutes. No minutes text for regular council minutes, council or committee meetings unless it is a procedural matter. So councilors' reports, new business, delegations, anything like that will be done through YouTube. So what we were doing is taping the meetings, and then the girls the next day, or guys, whoever's doing the recording, would sit and go through the meeting again. So they're spending 3 hours typing up their minutes just to put them in. So now all they're gonna do is put the link and you watch. We're gonna save them for 4 years. And like I say, anything that's outside the minutes that would be needed to be added, they'll be in there. So just our decisions will be there, that kind of thing, but the discussion part will not. Anybody got any questions on it? Not that we're really doing anything about it. All in favor? Okay, thank you.
How can we do new business?
Let's do new business. New business, start with you, Mike. Anything?
Nothing.
Teresa? Alex? Dean? Cal? Final say?
Just one thing.
I knew you did. That's why I made you go last.
Yeah, through the chair, if I may. I just wanted to bring the committee's attention to, I'm gonna be drafting a report for the upcoming council meeting. There's an Ontario Trillium Fund seed grant that we're gonna be applying for a Parks and Rec master plan. I don't, because of the next meeting, I wouldn't have time to get it endorsed by this committee first. I'm just letting you know I'm taking it directly to council on the 29th. So a Parks and Rec master plan, we're gonna apply for the grant.
Was there not one that we did as well? Somebody grant that we had to apply for.
That was the Highland Glen Accessibility Grant. Is that the one you're
Yes.
talking about?
Yes.
So that one, we're applying for that one as well.
But it's not in our minutes, so you want to explain that?
Al might be better off explaining that.
Yeah, I guess I could give it a shot. We had a little meeting there. There's a grant that was, that we're shooting for to install an accessibility trail, Moby mat ramp down to the beach so people can access the water's edge. Might put some numbers together really quick for them for their, to apply in the grant, in the neighborhood of about $40,000, what we're applying for. I think that should cover the cost to build the ramp, kind of a switchback method with handrails. Once you reach the break wall on the north side, we would wooden ramp down to the beach, and then a Moby mat from that point to the water's edge.
So it was a quick, had to be done in a week kind of thing. So it didn't come to us first, but they did ask me. Yep, go for it. It's free money. We'll take it. Just so you're in the loop. I have nothing under new business, so I have a motion from Teresa, seconded by Alex Bojan, that the Parks and Rec Committee meeting be adjourned and the next regular meeting be set for June 20th. Are you good on that date? Good. All in favor? Carried. Thank you, everybody.
You guys have